welcome to Let's Talk, the place to boost up your English language skills. My name is Michelle and today I'm going to tell you how I learned 100 new words in 1 week. Can you believe that? It's possible to learn 100 new words of English in just 1 week. But before we find out how you can do that, I want to share something with you. So let's look at this diagram. What do you see here? There are 4 different levels of English. So most people start their English learning journey at the basic level, right? And then eventually they get to the intermediate level. But what happens here? They get stuck. And that happens because their focus is only on grammar. And they forget to learn new words, phrasal verbs, and conversational phrases. So this is what you need to change. You need to think about how you can be the very few who move to the advanced level, and not just there, that you even move to the fluent level of speaking English. And to do that, my friends, you need to know some really useful English words and you need to stop using some common words which are a part of your vocabulary right now. So let me tell you, how did I learn 100 words in just 1 week? So let's talk about it. There are some of these words that you can see on the screen. Amazing, honestly, just that, next, small. Do you use these words? Are these common? Well, I'm sure these words are super common, and there was one point in time when I used to use it all the time. And then I realized that these words are hindering, as in stopping my vocabulary from growing. And that was the point I decided that I needed to throw away. Yes, I needed to throw away these words from my daily conversation, and that is what we are going to do today. Today in this lesson, I'm going to give you 5 new words for each of these words, okay? And that means you will almost learn 35 new words in just a few minutes. So imagine how much more can you learn in a week. Now let's begin with our first word, which is amazing. So let's now find out, what does amazing mean? I'm sure you already know amazing is a very common word. And we use it when we're surprised. Oh, wow, you got a new car, it's amazing, right? Or sometimes when you're extremely happy. Oh, you know, something amazing happened with me today. Have you said that? I'm sure. But now we need to cut out this amazing. Look at all of these sentences. I've got 5 sentences here. Tell me what's common. Just the word amazing, okay? Another amazing, and amazing, again amazing, and amazing. How does it sound? It sounds boring. And your English would sound basic when you keep repeating words like this. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to help you get rid of these words and I'm going to give you a new word for each of these sentences. So let's begin with the first one. It's amazing to see you, right? Don't you say that when you meet somebody after a long time? Okay? How can you change that? What else can you say? Well, you can say it's wonderful to meet you and no more amazing. Okay? The next one. Yesterday's match was amazing. You know that moment when in the match you're just like at the corner of your seat and you're wondering about which team is going to win? And just in a moment, the game has changed. Okay? Because your favorite player hit a 6. What's that moment called? It's more than amazing. It's miraculous. Yes, as if a miracle just happened. Okay, moving on to the next one. Your speech was amazing. Now, when you hear someone's speech and you thought it was great, you say it's amazing. But I'd say that you should say it's remarkable. Yes. So, remarkable. Of course, the meaning is same, but it's just the impact that the word creates. Okay. It's amazing how much weight you've lost. So you see somebody after a long time and you see that they've lost a lot of weight. What do you say? Well, I'd suggest that you say incredible. It's incredible how much weight you've lost. You look amazing in that dress. Now, this one is really common. People might have told you or you might have told it to someone else. But now you have an alternative. You can say that you look stunning in that dress. Okay, so guys, here are a few alternatives, a few options to the word amazing, and I'd say that you must add 5 of these to your vocabulary. So Here are 5 new words for the word amazing. Now let's move on and find 5 new words for the word went. Now, what does went mean? It's pretty simple. It means to go from one place to another. But it is the past form. Okay, so many ways to move from here to there. Now let's look at a few sentences and try to replace went with more interesting English words. So again, we have went to the park, went to Singapore, went to the mall, and we have the thief went away quickly. Again, very repetitive and very boring. So let's look at the first one. I went to the park. Well, how did you go to the park? You can talk about that action. So I'm sure you walked to the park. Then why not say it, right? So instead of went, you just say, I walked to the park. Now let's talk about going to Singapore. How did you go to Singapore? You must have flown, right? Then again, why not just say I flew to Singapore instead of saying that you went to Singapore? Okay, I went to the mall. Did you take a bike? In that case, the best word is to say you rode to the mall. Okay, now look at the word Ria went to the office. Maybe she drove. Quite easy. So again, Ria drove to the office. So what we're doing is we're just talking about the actions we did instead of using the word went. That's pretty easy. And then we have the thief went away quickly. You can replace this too. You can say he ran away quickly. I'm sure instead of walking slowly, he ran away real fast. So this is how you will replace the verb went with other interesting verbs. Just remember, you can use the action that you did instead of the verb went. Okay, now this is went, and let's talk about the next one, which is the word honestly. Now, what does honestly mean? It's pretty easy. It's used to add emphasis, which means, honestly, I love you. Okay, we say that, don't we? Honestly, I'm saying the truth. But what were you saying earlier? Were you lying? Okay, so this means that when you add honestly, you're kind of repeating yourself. Okay, you can use some other words to say the same thing. Let's find out what are our options. So let's look at these sentences and see how honestly has been repeated. And this is quite unnecessary. Here we go. 4 times we've used the word honestly. Now we're going to find 4 new alternatives to this word. So honestly, this shirt suits you. Okay, we can say frankly. Now, when you're talking to a friend, you can tell them the truth. What if it doesn't suit them? You could still say, frankly, this shirt doesn't suit you, right? Because you're talking to your friend. So it's better to use the word frankly instead of honestly. Okay, speaking honestly, I love you. Now, when you love somebody, you don't do it with a half-hearted emotion. It's a full-hearted emotion. How can you say it? You can say wholeheartedly. That means with all my heart, speaking wholeheartedly, I love you. Now, if I'm allowed to speak honestly, so whenever you want to say the truth, you need to be one thing, and that is free. So did you get it? How can you replace it? If I'm allowed to speak freely. Okay, so before you start saying your idea, you can start it with this sentence. Honestly, I don't trust this business idea. Well, over here, you're just saying the truth. You can say honestly, but if you think you're repeating yourself, you'd rather say plainly, which means quite simply. Oh, there we have another one. So just look at it. You have endless options to replace these simple and repetitive English words in our conversations. So that was honestly, and now let's look at how we can replace the word just. Now, this is such a common word, and you use it to fill your gaps. It's a filler word. So whenever you're saying something and you don't know what to say, sometimes you add the word just. And it also makes your sentence weaker. It kind of takes away the meaning. Okay, let's look at 4 sentences here. And we have just here, we have just here, and we have just here and here too. We're going to cut it out and we're going to find the alternatives. So, he's just like his father. You could say that he's precisely like his father, which means a lot or nearly like his father. Okay, he just escaped the accident. Okay, so when you escape an accident, it's always very narrow. This means that you could have almost got hurt, but you were saved. So what can you say? He narrowly escaped the accident. Okay. This computer is just not working. Let's find out what's the alternative. Simply not working. And they just shifted to Delhi. So instead of saying that, you could say they recently shifted to Delhi, because you are timing an action. You're saying that when did that action happen, okay? So you would say they recently shifted to Delhi, which means just a short time ago. Okay, moving on to our next word, which is that. Now, this word is so common. We always use it in our sentences and usually incorrectly. Let me tell you how. So basically, it's not used to refer to people. When you're talking about people, you need another word. Let's find out which word is that. So over here we have that, and that, which we need to get rid of. So let's find out. I have several friends that live in Mumbai. No, I have several friends who live in Mumbai. Yes, now this is a correct sentence. Now you tell me. I know many people dash work in a bank. We're again talking about people. And you read here that that is not used to talk about people. So what can you fill here? Well, I hope you got it. I know many people who work in a bank. I'm sure you got this one right. And the last one. I know many trainers on YouTube who teach English. Well, that's another correct sentence. So do remember that don't overuse the word that, and remember to use it correctly. Okay, now that's that, and let's find out the next one. So this is the word next, and we often use it to talk about what's coming after. Okay, so to say something that's coming immediately or it's coming after. Let's look at some sentences and try to get rid of this word. Next movie, next to the hotel, next manager, and next video. Okay, let's find out what can we say instead. So I'm waiting for Salman's next movie. No, I'm waiting for Salman's upcoming movie. Okay, so upcoming, you could even say forthcoming movie. You have that option. The bank is close to the hotel because we're talking about distance. So when two things are near, you could say it's close. He is the next manager of our team. Guess what? When one person comes after another person in a particular position, you can use the word succeeding, which means this person is leaving and another person is succeeding him, which means replacing him. But replacing, as you know, is not very positive. So it's better to say succeeding because that's a more positive word. And then you have my next video. Well, I would love to use the word following. My following video will be more interesting. Okay, so that's how you can get rid of the word next, which is super common and we use it a lot in our English. Now we have the word small. Again, whenever you want to talk about size, either it's big or it's small, but it can actually be something else. Let's find out what. Okay, so it's obviously used to talk about something that is not big. Let's look at a few sample sentences. Too small, 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 and more of small. So let's find out how to get rid of them. This font size is too small, I can't read. So maybe what you need is a lens, or maybe what you need is a microscope. Let's find out the right word. You could say microscopic. So when something is so small that you almost need a microscope or a lens to read it, you could say it's microscopic. The car is small, we all won't fit. So guys, whenever you want to talk about space and an area which is very congested, you could use the word compact. It's an appropriate word to talk about space. So when an area is crowded or congested, you could say it's compact because it's small and not many people can fit. It's a small mistake. You could say that it's a negligible mistake, which means a mistake that can be ignored. And that's why it says, please forgive him. It's a negligible mistake. There's a small drop. Okay, so guys, when there's a change in something which is unnoticeable, okay, such as there's a small drop in profits this month, which means it's so small that you almost can't notice it. So you could use the word insignificant. Say it again. insignificant. Okay, this computer is very small. So guys, when something is really small, as in an object, you don't have to just say small. You could say that it's toyish. Toyish means almost like a toy, that it's so small that it looks like a toy. I can't even believe it's real. So this is how you can get rid of these common words from your daily vocabulary. Did you see? Just a few minutes and you were able to learn 35 new words in English. So what do you think? Is it possible for you to learn 100 words in a week? I'd say you can learn up to 1,000 words in a month if you take the challenge. So this is my challenge to you now. Please tell me in the comments if what you learned today was productive and how you're going to take up this challenge and now find out new words for some common words that you overuse in your conversations every day. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you soon in another lesson. Till then, keep learning and keep speaking English. Bye-bye.